Do you want an idea for using your 12 by 12 paper fast without making any scraps? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today, I'm going to work with some Halloween paper, but you can absolutely use this any time of year. It will work with any 12 by 12 paper. And in fact, I have used this as part of a larger Easter video, but I want to give this sketch its own video because it's always helpful to just take a deeper look at an individual template. Okay, so this is 12 by 12 template number 9. That means you'll take one piece of 12 by 12 paper. In this case, you're going to make 6 A2 size cards with no scraps. You're also going to need some cardstock, and there will probably be cardstock scraps, but that's okay. At least for me, those are easier to use, and I'll share that. I have the Fancy Pants Designs Happy Halloween collection kit. I will take a quick peek through it just so those who are interested can see all the choices, and then I'm just going to pick a few patterns to work with. I think that I probably want something with a bit of a smaller scale because, as you can see, there's a little like 1/2 inch strip that's going to be used, and then a 2 by 2.5, which isn't terribly small, but maybe something like that piece would be a little bit too big of a pattern. This one has this like little chunk in the corner, so I don't think that's good for a no scrap template, but it's a fun little piece, and the flowers on the back. I also like that they're not, like, there's a couple things that aren't super Halloween-like in case you don't want to make Halloween cards. So here, the trick or treat and the spider web would probably work. So maybe we'll save one of those. And then there's the flowers with the wood grain. Again, I could do this and not do a Halloween set. So maybe I'll pick 2 pieces of paper. I'll only walk you through one, but I'll show you the final result so you can see I can make non-Halloween. This has skulls on one side and the wood grain on the back. I'm going to avoid the skulls for now. A couple of places that I've donated have asked for less of a spooky Halloween look and to keep it more cute. So we'll go with the spiders. Spiders are cute, right? I guess not for everyone, but they're definitely a little less creepy than skulls. The collection kit also came with enamel dots, and it came with these Halloween cards and tags. I might use the tags for my Halloween set of cards today. I'm going to show you just the cutting of one of the 2 pieces of pattern paper, but like I said, I'm going to make a Halloween set and a non-Halloween set. Okay, so according to the sketch, it says to cut these to 4 1/4. And then take that 4 1/4 by 12 and cut that into 3 4-inch pieces. You're gonna put a mat around these, and then they're gonna fill up the entire card front. Now, you actually don't need to put a mat around these, and that could actually save you a bit of time. So it's your choice. But with it being a white background, I'm thinking that I'm going to prefer that it has a mat, because if I leave it as white on white, the pattern paper will kind of blend into the background a little bit. There's another 4 1/4 chunk, but since I'm going to be cutting some smaller pieces off, I actually want to cut the small pieces first. So it says I need a piece that is 2 1/2 tall, and then cut it into little 2-inch bits. So I have 7 3/4. Ooh, math. I'm gonna have to, because I like to subtract from there, and that way I'm cutting, I want the least amount of paper hanging off the trimmer as possible. I don't want my long piece hanging off the trimmer, so that's why I made that choice. And then I need some 1/2-inch pieces. So move it down 1/2 inch. I need 2 of those. Oh wait, lost my measurement there. Okay, 1/2 inch again. And then all of these get cut to 4 inch. I could also have like just cut these all at 4 inches first and then cut the little slivers off. It really is just however you want to do it. Just follow the measurements in the sketch in whatever way suits like your style of measuring and cutting, because like sometimes people cut a little bit differently on a guillotine trimmer than maybe they would on a blade trimmer, I guess you'd call it. Okay, so those get all cut down to 4, and these will get cut down to 2 inches, and I'll just keep measuring 2 inches from the side, and then I will cut my second piece of paper. Those of you who've seen my videos before know I'm gonna stick everything into one of these plastic envelopes so that I don't lose all of my pieces, and that I'm also going to try to pick one piece of colored cardstock that will coordinate with both sets that I'm gonna make. So in this case, I think I'm gonna do purple. I'm gonna pick purple because I want to lean away from Halloween. I'm gonna cut all of the mats. I'm gonna need enough for 12 cards because I'm using 2 pieces of paper. And in order to find what size to cut the mats, you look over here on the sketch. This tells you how to cut the pattern paper. And then over here it says, for instance, you need a 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch mat. So that's where I'm gonna get all of my mat measurements from. And that's why it's great to have this downloaded so that it is easy to work with. Confession time, guys. I cut all 12 mats for what I thought was this piece, the same size. So I made a mistake on the measurements and they're all messed up. I thought, well, I could recut them. That would use up quite a bit of cardstock. Or I could figure out a way to make this work. Certainly I could cut the sheet of pattern paper smaller, but as I mentioned before, this is actually not the most necessary mat. So I'm gonna do it without the mats today. But the mat size on the paper is correct. I just can't read. So normally, like I said before, I would want to do the mat if I were going, especially if I was going to use this trick or treat, because as you can see, it really blends into the background. And a mat, if it were cut to the right size, would really help it pop off. And you know, you could even do something like try to use these mats and like do an offset matting thing, but I don't want to do that. I'm just going to use the other side because it has all the orange, and so the white basically acts as a mat anyway. But I did cut all the other mats the right size, so we'll assemble the card the rest of the way as intended with the sketch. Our non-Halloween version is gonna have the same thing where one side wouldn't work, but since the floral side will, we will use that side for our main piece where I messed up cutting the mats. If you've ever done something like that, feel free to leave us a comment. Let us all share our little crafty boo-boos because we all have them. Like, I mean, you've seen them recently on my channel where like I glued a whole card front to the like back side of an already decorated card. I mean, it just, all of it happens all the time. I am going to use a bit of scrap cardstock to help prop up this piece, because if I were to glue this piece down, it would kind of just bump over this strip in the back a little bit, which is not a very big deal. And I'll make sure I move the right mats out of the way and actually grab a scrap piece because I almost cut the mats. I'm almost like, wait, is that a mat? We'll see. We'll cut more if we need to. Today's just one of those days. Okay, so we're gonna take some of that scrap and place it on the back. So that way when we glue it down, we now have this space in the center where that strip will be, and everything will just be just a little, you know, more even and flush. Not a big deal, but a little trick for those who like a really like clean finish on a card. I went into my stash to find something to finish off the top of the tags because I wanted to use the Halloween tags from the Fancy Pants collection kit. And I remembered I had this spider web ribbon of sorts, and so I decided to change it up a bit and layer that over this patterned paper. I think it actually works out really well because the trick-or-treats were right next to each other and it breaks them up a little bit, but then I don't really, and you might want to add a little bit more cardstock shim because now this is kind of getting lumpy bumpy again. So I'll fix that off camera because this video is going to be probably pretty long anyway. And you could do something similar here. Pull a bit of the colors in or something. I wasn't planning on making a non-Halloween card today, but I did find these butterflies in my stash. They're from Creative Fabrica. I've worked with them before, so I have another video featuring them. But since they were all cut out and ready to go, I thought, oh, well, you know what? Actually, I think they kind of work. They do, this one in particular, fades a little bit in the white on white, but this one's a bit brighter and stretches across. So I'll see which ones I have, but I'm going to use that to decorate. And then I only have green twine. This is the Halloween color that I picked up because I thought, oh, it would be great for Christmas as well. But there is no green in this pattern paper, so it's kind of like, do I make it work and let it just kind of be the only splash of green? Do I try to pull in another color? I don't keep a lot of twine on hands. This is why I'm not a big fan of tags, because I always then have to figure out a way to finish them off. And I'm not a big ribbon person, so I don't have a lot. I think that that little splash of green is totally okay because it looks like such a natural Halloween color. If you found this video inspiring, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video!